From Giuseppe's studio, it's the Lombardi and JP Talk Sports podcast. I'm your boy Scotty P, they them boys, Lombardi and JP. And Cowboys fans around the globe have been binging this week on the docuseries America's Team, the Gambler and His Cowboys. Oh, it makes me want to puke, JP. On Netflix this week, it just dropped. Join the conversation as we dive into the first 3 episodes right now on Lombardi and JP Talk Sports. Here we go. Here we go. All right, gentlemen, welcome. How we doing tonight?
What's up, Scotty Pete?
Hanging in there, feeling a little under the weather, but we're going to get through this hour, hopefully, or this 30 minutes, without, coughing, sneezing, or blowing my nose.
Who knows what can happen on the Lombardi and JP Talk Sports?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm doing okay.
Who
if you guys care.
Who's this guy?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Oh, hey, JP.
Yeah,
JP. Yeah. Listen, hey, maybe we can make it up for you, make it up to you. How about you start the show here? We got some interesting news that just happened recently. And what's going on here with Mike, the soap opera Micah and Jerry continues? What's the latest?
So the latest episode of the soap opera they call the Dallas Cowboys is, so on Wednesday, Coach Schottenheimer said that he expects Parsons to be on the field week 1. And then on Friday, Jerry Jones joined 2 different podcasts, one with Stephen A. Smith and then one with Michael Irvin, saying that he already had a handshake deal with Micah Parsons, that the deal was final, that Parsons agreed to his terms to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league with the most money ever guaranteed to a NFL player. It was all said and done, handshake deal. And then Parsons, when talked to his agent said, you can stick it up where the sun don't shine to Jerry. And here we are. And it's been a mess ever since. So this has been an ongoing saga that has looks like it has no end to it. I'm praying it does kind of break at some point, right? We need them in week 1, but this week has been nuts. With Schottenheimer saying that he expects him there, Jerry Jones says he has him for 3 more years, no matter what, if he signs or not. So it's been just crazy around all the sports outlets this week.
You know what my problem with this whole breaking news is? What the hell is Jerry Jones, right? What the hell are you doing, Jerry Jones, meeting with Stephen A. Smith, a Cowboy hater? I can't stand listening to him.
Caught me off guard.
And what? I'm not done.
That's what you're mad about, Stephen A?
Yes.
I'm with you, Lombardi.
Yes.
I'm with you. And where was the Cowboy hate? He was.
Give me a minute right now. I'm not done. I don't even care about Micah Parsons right now. Jerry, why are you meeting with Stephen A. Smith? He hates us. He hates Cowboy fans. He's just terrible to us. And you give him the time? That's what I'm pissed off about.
Jerry loves the criticism because it's just keeping the Cowboys relevant in the news.
And
he loves it.
Was there a camera on and was there a microphone on, Jerry? Then he has no problem with it. He loves it. Give me more. Mm-hmm. Give me more.
Exactly.
Spotlight on me. But boy, didn't Stephen A. He seemed so nice and he was being so polite to Jerry.
Scotty,
his brother.
Scotty,
his brother.
You know why? Stephen A. Smith, you're two-faced. You can't wait for tomorrow's episode to shit on the Cowboys, but you'll invite Jerry Jones on like he's your best friend. I don't even want to hear it right now. I am so angry with that episode. Michael Irvin, I get it. Michael Irvin, I get it. But Stephen A., really?
One last thought about the whole thing is that what's kind of cool is that at the end of the interview with Michael Irvin and Jerry Jones, Jerry said, "Hey, Michael, get Parsons to the ranch with us and let's talk about this," like asking Irvin for his help because Irvin negotiated his own contracts back in the 90s. So he was like, tell him that it worked for you, it's going to work for him, kind of thing. I'm like, oh, it's not how it works in 2025. We said it before, I'll say it again. This is not the way to go about signing an NFL player. You have to meet with their representation. They need to have their agent in the room. Jerry thinks that he could do a handshake deal. It's not going to work. But anyway, it's been crazy around this. This whole week has been nuts. The saga continues. Hopefully, we'll find some kind of conclusion before the season starts. Because if he's not there week 1, it's going to be a huge disadvantage for the Cowboys.
And the agent said he never said that.
Yeah. So Ryan Clark came out and rebutted Jerry Jones like right away, saying Ryan Clark said, "I talked to the agent Dave Magula, saying that is a false narrative. It never happened. I never said that to Jerry Jones." So it just keeps getting worse. I don't think Jerry would lie about something like that. I think if Jerry was told, stick where the sun don't shine, I do think that it happened.
You know the problem? I don't think Jerry remembers. No, I'm not joking.
He is 83.
Hey,
right?
listen. If you listen to his post-game press conferences or his pre-game conferences, or even now his interviews, man, I don't know. I don't know what he remembers or not, and I can't wait to talk about that. About the greatest coach in Cowboy history, Tom Landry. Once we get into the Netflix series, but man, Jerry, same thing. I hope Steven's counseling him as he takes the podium.
Yeah. Well, hey, great segue. So we're going to dedicate a good portion of our podcast tonight to talk about, as I mentioned in the open, the much anticipated and excited to watch, all of us Cowboy fans excited to watch the docuseries, the 8-part docuseries. And so we've decided we're going to break it down into the first half and the second half. We're not really 4 and 4. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about the first 3 today. And then we'll wrap up and finish the whole series and talk about that on one of the next shows. So let's talk about that. The first episode is called Saturday Night Massacre, because that is the name that was given to the night that Jerry Jones cleaned house, took over and cleaned house.
Yeah, so 1989, Jerry Jones buys the Dallas Cowboys for $140 million, I believe, in 1989. The story, we know the story already, but it was kind of cool. And I have to eat my words a little bit because it was kind of cool to watch Jerry Jones talk about how they call him the gambler because he was the gambler. He didn't have $12.8 billion back in the day, and he took a chance and he went $50 million in debt to take this chance and to buy this oil drill. And it was an $800 chance. He went out, bought this oil drill, dug oil, and luckily for him, made some money on it. And he knew right away at that point in time, I'm going to take this money and I'm not going to put it in my pocket. I'm going to buy the Dallas Cowboys. But that wasn't the interesting part. That wasn't the shocker. The shocker is this. After 29 years, the beloved Tom Landry and GM Tech Schramm fired him. And I'm here to tell you this. It was the best move Jerry Jones made, or one of the best moves Jerry Jones made. Everybody wants to critique Jerry Jones and the way he does business and the way he is. But I'm going to be honest with you. That was the first step in turning this franchise around. I love Tom Landry, and he did so many great things for the Dallas Cowboys, and so did Tex Schramm. But I'm going to tell you something right now. He bought this team, and he knew they needed change, and he had the stones to make the unpopular decision to bring his buddy in, Jimmy Johnson, to turn this. And I know we're going to get into that, but he brought his buddy, Jimmy Johnson, in to turn this franchise around. So, you know what? All you Jerry Jones haters, you can't hold him accountable for letting Tom Landry go. I know Dallas fans were distraught, disgusted, lost fans, but I'm going to be honest with you. It was the best move that Jerry Jones made at a young age.
Yeah, so there's a lot of. So one, the documentary is fantastic. I suggest everybody watch it. If you're not a Cowboys fan, I know we're biased here, but you got to watch it. So what made that whole thing incredible is that, I went into that series. I was born in 1988. So I didn't live through those days, but it's one of those things where
I did.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to call you out on your age here, or you, Scotty, as well, but I didn't live through it, but I knew of the story about firing the legend Tom Landry and cleaning house, but I never knew it was called Saturday Night Massacre. So seeing that was pretty cool, but the backlash that Jerry Jones received when he did these moves, and he stuck to his guns. He said, this is the best move for the Cowboys. And I gained a lot of respect for Jerry Jones watching the documentary. Now, he labeled himself in the opening episode as the villain. He's coming in as the guy from out of town, from Arkansas. Is he going to bring the Cowboys out of, away from Dallas? Like, all these things were thrown his way, but he loves the Dallas Cowboys. And his dream was to own the Dallas Cowboys. It gives me chills talking about it. I was like, became a Jerry Jones fan, like, because we know how it ended. Now, he could have bought this team and lost it with all the gambles he made. But he brought his brother from Arkansas, or another fellow Razorback that he roomed with in college, knew that Jimmy Johnson is a winner. Everywhere he goes, he's a winner. He was a winner at Miami, and he brought him to the Dallas Cowboys to replace a legend, a Super Bowl winner, Tom Landry.
You say that he is a legend, but what Jerry Jones recognized is that when Tom Landry was in his later years, he was, I hate to say it, he was Jerry Jones. Tom Landry is Jerry Jones of now. He was up at a podium. He would forget players' names.
Yeah.
He would his memory was lost. I'm not saying there's no proof that there was a dementia going on or any other type of memory loss. But I'll be honest with you, like Jerry Jones knew that was a concern, and like you said, Jimmy Johnson was like, there was no doubt about Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson was a successful guy at the University of Miami.
But back then, taking a college coach to the NFL wasn't as common as it is today. Jerry Jones took a huge risk by taking a college coach.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. They talk about it in the docuseries that he was one of the first guys to do something like this.
Okay, but you're missing the point. He didn't take any college coach. It was his roommate. His buddy. They went out to the Mexican restaurant and thought they were going to be undercover and nobody was going to see them. But
it was Tom Landry's hangout.
Well, he didn't know that at the time.
But it made him the more of a villain.
Yeah. But my point of the matter is this. It wasn't just what you're missing, I think, a little bit is this. It wasn't just bringing this, quote, Jimmy Johnson from the University of Miami to Dallas to turn this team around. It was Jimmy Johnson, Jerry Jones's roommate at Arkansas, and a proven winner at University of Miami that he brought him in, and he trusted him. There was loyalty. He trusted him, and they were tight. They were friends, and that's what brought Jimmy Johnson to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, but Jimmy Johnson bringing him in got Jerry even more backlash by firing Landry to an unproven college coach. And back in '89 is not a common thing. So Jerry took a lot of heat, and I am saying that I agree with you. Like, Jimmy Johnson was a winner in college, but doesn't mean he's going to win in the NFL. His first season, they went 1-15.
Well, there's no guarantee you grab a coach today from the NFL. You think
okay, but that's a whatever viewpoint. I'm saying that Jerry Jones in 1989 took a Jimmy Johnson. He went 1-15 his first year, 7-9 his second year. He didn't have a winning season until his third year, and that's the year everything exploded. So all I'm saying is that Jerry Jones did something like not as a regular NFL owner would do. Took a chance on his buddy that he knew Jimmy Johnson. He felt comfortable with Jimmy Johnson. He even said, "I trust Jimmy Johnson is going to be the guy, and he's worth 5 Heisman trophies."
Yeah.
So again, I think again, I agree with you. The best thing he ever did, but I'm also proud of Jerry Jones for sitting there and taking it for 2 years in a row, being a laughing stock of the NFL in a way. And he's like, "No, what? I did the right thing," and at the end, he did the right thing.
Yeah, and he was even more, I would say he's even more of a villain because, not just because he's hiring a college coach, but because it was his friend. I know, Lombardi, you're saying that, well, they were tight, but that made him even more of a villain.
Exactly.
Because it was like, oh, great. Now, not only did you just can the legendary Tom Landry, now you're bringing your best friend in to coach. And yes, regardless of how successful he was, I understand the gambler title because that was a risk. You're bringing in your friend, even though he's successful. Boy, if that didn't work.
Scotty, truthfully, I love Tom Landry. He's by far one.
Oh, yeah.
Will go down as history. There's a statue outside of AT&T that I take a picture with every single time down. I go there every other weekend, and I have to take a picture every single time with him. But when I'm going to tell you this, he went to 5 Super Bowls, I believe. He went to 5 Super Bowls, and he won 2 Super Bowls. Amazing. In 29 years, it was time for a change. Can't
argue that. I was 15 years old when it happened, And I just remember those people that they interviewed on the docuseries from those at the time, back in '89, and they seemed like they were from Dallas area, from Texas, and they were like, "Oh, this guy, I hate this guy, Jerry Jones. You're gonna ruin the team and all that." I was like, "Yes, that's exactly how I felt. I know exactly what they were saying and how they were feeling."
But what about the parade they threw Tom Landry when he left? Like it was like
amazing.
It's like he won a Super Bowl, and he even said in his speech like the thing he's gonna miss the most is coaching the Dallas Cowboys and being part of the city.
But you know what he did say? He said, "Don't worry, I'll see you out on the streets and I'll say hello." That's the humbleness about Tom Landry.
He handled
and
it really well.
Who he was. You know what I mean? And I think know what? Respectfully, I honestly think if he was alive at this time, I honestly think that he would tell you that it was probably the right decision and it was time for him to go. As hard as that is to believe, and it's easy for me to say now and not in 1989 where you saw like the emotional reflection from the fans. It was time for him to go.
Yeah. All right. So then episode 2, unless there's anything else, that's what episode 1 was talking about, his taking over, purchasing of the team, and then cleaning house.
Yeah.
So then episode 2 gets into Aikman. And Irvin talked a little bit about, Irvin was there, right? And he talked about the veterans before Landry was canned and before it came over, and just he was talking about how he wanted to win so bad, and everybody was just kind of okay and losing, and they were like, yeah, whatever, and the fire wasn't there.
Hey kid, you're in the pros now. Calm it down. Simmer down a little bit. That was kind of weird.
That was Irving.
Yeah.
That's
what we're talking about.
I'm sorry. I thought you said Aikman. I apologize.
Before Aikman came on,
That's
Irvin
correct.
was there first.
From University of Miami.
Yeah.
Followed Jimmy Johnson.
And he couldn't, Jimmy Johnson followed him, really.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, technically. But like the point of that, where you said, well, maybe it was time, because to Irvin's point, there's no fire there.
There's no fire there at all.
How do you guys not want to win? I have this drive to win, and it was gone.
Because it was just like over and over the same old thing.
Yeah.
You went to practice, you probably did the same drills. It was those old school drills. There was no pressure. There was no emphasis of getting after it. And you have a young kid like Michael Irvin coming out of University of Miami where he didn't lose. Right. He didn't lose. And he's like, what are we doing here? Like, this is the pros and this is what I signed up for? Come on.
So they go, all right. So the Cowboys go, they draft Irvin, and then they go 3-13. Then
they were 1-15
not yet. Yeah, they get there. Aikman's first year, they were 1-15.
I got
right?
this.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead, JP. Run with it.
So Irvin gets drafted. They go 3-13. They have the first overall pick, and they draft Aikman the next year. Mm-hmm. And Jerry Jones now owns a team, right? And he goes, "We just got the best player, the number one pick in the best player in the NFL." Which again, they all laughed about. Even Aikman laughed about it, going like, "I'm a rookie. I'm not the best player. I haven't taken a snap yet." But he paired up Aikman with Irvin, which again was foreshadowing, which can be one of the best decisions ever. But Aikman didn't have a great start in Dallas. That first year, they went 1-15 with Jimmy Johnson at the helm, with Aikman in the squad.
They had nobody around them,
right? And that season was what changed the trajectory of that team, right? Because that's the year they went 1-15. They trade Herschel Walker halfway through the season and get your King Ransom trade, right? And get all these picks.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know what I didn't know though, during that, when I was watching it, I'm sitting there going, they trade Herschel Walker. We all know that happened.
The 5 people?
Yeah. I didn't know that they had to release all 5 guys to get 5 picks. What a bonehead move on the Vikings GM.
Right.
Yeah.
And what a bonehead move.
That was really interesting. So go back to your point a couple shows ago, and you're like, what new are we going to learn? Something new are we going to learn from this docuseries? That's the first time I was like, there you go. There's the new thing that I never knew.
You guys didn't know that either?
No, I didn't know. I did not know that. And I'm
how
glad.
Often, like, how common was that? Or is it today? Like, is you never hear of it? It's probably not part of anything now.
I'm glad you called me out on that, because I will tell you this. I knew the story, but the intricate little pieces or the details that came out, at least in 1, 2, and 3 that I've watched so far, I didn't know. So I have to eat my words right now and give credit to the Dallas Cowboys and Netflix, because I didn't know that.
Yeah. And how about watching that, so they go 1-15, they get Emmitt Smith, then they go 7-9, then that and that ends the kind of like the second episode too with Aikman losing his job.
Wait. This is one of my favorite things. Not him losing his job, but this is one of my favorite episodes already. You ready?
Yeah.
6-5. 6-5, I think. Don't quote me. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm right. 6-5. Aikman goes down. And I think as a kid, I remember that. I'm not joking. I think as a kid, I was maybe in junior high school when this happened. Maybe freshman year in high school. Goes down with a knee sprain.
Hyperextended
his knee.
Yeah, I was watching that game.
And I remember being so miserable in junior high and elementary school watching the 80s Cowboys sucking. Like they sucked.
Yeah.
And I finally felt like, oh man, the Cowboys are going to come around. And I remember sitting in my living room watching the TV and Troy Aikman going down. I remember this and saying to myself, oh my God, are you shitting me? The number 1 draft pick, Troy Aikman, goes down. We're never going to win anything. We're never going to win anything. So 6-5, right? We know the story. 6-5, and this guy, Steve Berline. Steve Berline comes in.
Yeah.
And I remember as a kid, I start watching Berline, and he rips off 5 or 6 wins.
Insane.
Steve Berline, where is he right now?
And gets into the playoffs. Well, so it's funny. You guys talk about Steve Berline. So I saw his name pop up, and I kind of knew that he took over for a little bit. I didn't know the run he had, like the 4 or 5 games in a row. I don't. So again, I was a kid.
Yeah, you're too young.
Yeah, and when I was growing up, I remember Steve Berline being the Carolina Panthers starting quarterback.
Yeah,
and I didn't even know I didn't know he played for the Cowboys.
He was a Cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I because you hear I thought Jason Garrett was always the backup for Aikman in those years. Because again, I'm this kid, and so when I saw that, and then how cocky Steve Berline was in the series, I'm like, I kind of like this guy.
So that's what I loved at the same time. That's one of those details. Ready? One of those details that I did not know. I watched it. I'm older than you, but I watched Steve Berline rip off 5 or 6 wins.
Yeah.
And but when they interviewed him on the Netflix series, the way he came about, and he was like, "This is my chance. This is my time." And you know what? I didn't give a shit what Troy Aikman thought.
He said that, and then he goes, "I felt I was a better vocal leader."
He was.
Troy.
He was.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm just saying that was like, whoa. And then so he obviously goes and they win the playoff game against the Bears, and they go to the Lions game, and
you're killing it right now. Like, reel it in a little bit. If you don't want to talk about Jimmy Johnson, this is where I love Jimmy Johnson. This is Cowboy fans. From a guy that's 48 years old that watched the Dallas Cowboys at this time and fell in love with them when I was a little kid, this is where it turned. Jimmy Johnson, before that playoff game, Troy Aikman, this is the story. Troy Aikman's knee, hyperextended. He was 100% ready to go the last game of the season. I don't remember the game, who they were playing, but he was ready to go. And Jimmy Johnson, of all people, made the decision not to play Troy Aikman, the number 1 draft pick from UCLA. He chose to go who was hot at the time. What an unpopular decision. Yeah. He plays Berline, and Berline wins. Now Jimmy Johnson's stakes get even higher, and he goes to that first playoff game, and I'm going to turn it over to you. He goes to that first playoff game. What is the number 1 guy right now, UCLA, Troy Aikman, thinking when he gets the news? Guess what? Steve Berline is going to start the playoff game.
He did say it, and then he's like, "I wanted to get traded." He wanted out of Dallas because how he felt. He felt like, this is my team, and you don't let me play for my team. But what's crazy though is that Jimmy Johnson's thought process at first, as a fan, you're like, "Oh, that makes sense." Like, let's get Troy into the playoffs and have him come back in the playoff for game 1 in the wild card game. First playoff appearance since '83. They talked about that they haven't been there for a long time. And I get week 17 didn't matter at that point, so it didn't matter. I get it. That's fine. But the first playoff game when Aikman was told, no, we're going with Berline, that is a crazy move on Jimmy's part, and they win that game. They go to the Lions, and the wheels just come right off Steve Berline. Okay. They bring Aikman in for garbage time, and he got killed. And that's Jimmy. That's what Troy Aikman's going. I'm out. I'm done with this circus, because it's been a circus since he got into the league.
I love this. This is, you know what, this made my day. I can't wait to watch episode 4. But this is why I think Jimmy Johnson and fans, you tell me if I'm right. This is why Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones are so alike. And this is the story. Jerry Jones had the you-know-what stones to take out Tom Landry. He took out Tex Schramm. He did that to turn the Cowboys around. He brings in Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson had the stones to not play Troy Aikman and to play who was hot, Steve Berline, who was nobody at the time, but did what was best for the Dallas Cowboys. This is the motto. This is the philosophy both Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson had to start the dynasty of the 90s.
Yeah, but Jerry Jones went along and trusted Jimmy's process of it. But then he goes, at the end of that season, even when Berline, the wheels came off the Lions game, Jimmy Johnson was told by Jerry Jones, Aikman's our guy. We're not going with Steve.
Okay.
And like that end of the story.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you this. They asked Jimmy Johnson, would you have done anything different? Would you have done anything different? You know what Jimmy Johnson's answer was? Probably not. That alone, and I can't wait to talk about Jimmy Johnson and what he did for the team, but that alone just showed you what kind of, I don't know, integrity Jimmy Johnson has.
Yeah. All right. So quickly, in the last couple of minutes that we have, episode 3, then we get into the next season. We get into overcoming and overthrowing the 49ers with all that success, adding Charles Haley. What else about episode 3 really stood out to you guys real quickly?
I mean, it's the turning point of the Cowboys, the Cowboys in the 90s. It became the team of the 90s. That one game immortalized, Aikman, the triplets, Aikman, Emmett, and Irvin.
Which one game? The NFC Championship?
Yeah, that game. They knew if they could beat the 49ers, the best team in football at the time, that they could beat anybody in the Super Bowl. They had to get by that one game. And that rivalry of, the last time they played in the NFC Championship game was it Dwight Clark catching the back ends? Yeah.
Yep.
So to come out with this young team, they had so much talent, but a young team, to go out there and go, hey, Steve Young. Hey, Jerry Rice. We know you got your Super Bowl rings. We're coming for you, 49ers. We're the team now. It's us now.
Yeah, and let's not skip over the fact we hadn't mentioned it, but they picked up Emmett. They drafted Emmett as part of, we alluded to the Herschel deal, and that was, as we know, how big of a component that was added to.
You know what was, and maybe because I know the story already, and that's what I meant when I said last episode, like, what are they going to tell me that's new, that is going to be exciting, whatever? So I'm going to take something not geared to what JP's saying, because I do agree with JP. That was the start of it, and I can't wait to episode 4. But what was really enticing to me was this. How crazy is Haley?
Oh, my God.
How nuts, fans, folks, please comment on this.
Yes.
Did anybody know Charles Haley was certifiably nuts?
I love it.
Wait 1 second. Everybody knows that the Cowboys come on and they do this history, but I never knew Charles Haley was absolutely crazy.
Right. Yeah. So his best line was he joins the Cowboys and sit in the locker room and all the guys like, hey, Charles, can I see your Super Bowl ring? He goes, shit, let's go win one. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna show you. Let's go win one. He knew how good that team was, and he was, dude. He killed Steve Young in that game. Killed him. Was on his back the whole day.
That was the most polite thing that he said in episode.
I was gonna say.
I'm trying to keep PG.
And that's what JP. And that's what you're going to talk about on the episode. I don't understand. He was punching people, urinating on people. I think
I was trying to keep it clean. I was trying to keep it clean.
I don't even understand how the guy made it through life.
Yeah. And I mean, now I'm like, this is graduation. This is like, now I'm like 17, 18, graduating high school, going into college. And I don't remember ever hearing about the problems that he had in San Francisco and why they wanted to get rid of him. And it's interesting that wasn't that long ago, but the difference between back then and today, you would have known, you would have heard about that. There's no way
Scotty,
that would have been out in the public.
2 words for you. Social media.
Yeah.
Wasn't around when that Charles Haley was doing his thing.
Yep. Charles Haley was one of my favorite, if not the favorite player, my favorite player on the team. I loved when we got him. I loved what he did and brought to the team. I cheered him so often and so much, and I had no idea. He's got like split personality, 3 different personalities, and the rage that he can just go off. That's scary.
What did they call him? Like Charles? They had 3.
Right. Charles, Chuck.
Charles, Chucky, and
Charlie or something. I don't know.
Charlie or whatever.
He said it himself. He goes, well, Charlie does this. Chuck does this.
Yeah. And I think at game time, they were like, hey, see that guy with the ball? Go kill him. And meaning the quarterback. And that's what he did. That's what he did.
And seeing them in the locker room after the game and having Jimmy Johnson do his legendary, you know what I'm saying?
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Like feeling that.
It gives me chills.
I know. Feeling that,
chills.
watching that, and he's seeing, like Troy Aikman saying before that, he said one thing that captured the moment, captured that. That phrase is so iconic as a for the Cowboys that even when he's on the Ring of Honor, he does the "How about them Cowboys?" The fans still go nuts. The pop from the crowd is insane. We also say it to this day. How about them Cowboys when they win every time? It's just like so. Seeing that in his starter jacket back in the 90s, doing that was just like, oh.
I'm going on Marketplace tonight.
I have one.
And I'm buying one again. I had one and I gave it up, but I'm going to go on and I'm going to get it and I'm going to wear it for one of our shows.
All right. Before we get to our final thoughts and wrap up this nostalgic look back at the success of the Cowboys, Lombardi and JP Talk Sports is powered by Lee Creative Media. Ready to make your brand unforgettable? At Lee Creative Media LLC, we create scroll-stopping, stunning photography, high-impact video, and bold social media that gets results. Lee Creative Media, where your story gets seen. Time now for our final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
JP, take it away.
All right. So, watching all this thing blow up this week about Jerry Jones and the Parsons and their saga, does Jerry Jones have all the leverage on Parsons right now? If you think about it, he's got Parsons for 3 years, no matter if Parsons likes it or not. Now, will Parsons play? We hold out for 3 years and eat up 3 years of his prime? We don't know, but we'll find out. But I don't know. Jerry Jones said that he expects Micah out there week 1, and he's got him for 3 years, and it's kind of in Parsons' court now. Dak played through his 3 years of being, franchise tagged. We'll see what Parsons does. I'm praying to God he's there. Jerry, please sign the guy. Please pay him. Get him on the field.
Lombardi, final thought.
Okay, my final thought is going to come from this nostalgic episode that we had talking about the old school Dallas Cowboys. And I'm going to say this. Hey, Shoddy, are you going to follow the path, and you hear it here now, of Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones? Are you going to be able to make the unpopular and difficult decisions? What are you going to do when one of your top players isn't performing? Are you going to be able to take him out and replace him with somebody who may make a difference in the team? Or are you going to be a puppet of Jerry Jones, just like Mike McCarthy was, Jason Garrett, and so on? Can you make the difference this year in the 2025 Dallas Cowboys? I'm watching you, Shoddy. You have a tough job. You're the head coach. You're not the offensive coordinator, but you're calling the plays. What are you going to do? Be a leader, not a puppet.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. That brings us to the conclusion of another great show. Have you seen the first 3 episodes of the docuseries? If you have, please comment below. Let us know. Join the conversation. What are your thoughts? What are your favorite moments? And what have you learned from watching the first 3 episodes? And then come back when we talk about the rest of the series and the other episodes and see what we think about that. And we want to hear what you think about them when we get there. For Lombardi, JP, I'm Scotty P. This is the Lombardi and JP Talk Sports Podcast. We out. Hoping for a successful kickoff game 1, week 1, Cowboys Eagles.